Hi guys, it's Dr. Ron Miller here with cashbasedphysiotherapy.org, and today we're actually going to go over Yelp and some of the pros of Yelp, some of the cons of Yelp, what is a Yelper and how does your Yelp page work, and then is it worth doing Yelp ads and advertising on Yelp for your cash-based physiotherapy practice. So right here we can see my kind of outline, kind of timeline of how things work. You have Yelpers who are searching, you have the cost, you have your Yelp page, what they consider leads versus what you consider leads are different. And then this is your system here of how you handle a phone call, an email, etc. So first off, the Yelper search. Yelp has a weird algorithm, if you haven't noticed this already, that if you get a patient to post to your page, they only show reviews from people who are Yelpers, which are people who are actively on Yelp and constantly review. So if you just get a patient who's not on Yelp frequently and they don't post comments or reviews or anything, and they post your page, they'll actually take it off the page and hide it. My company right now, Pursuit, I think we have like 19 reviews, but we have like 20 reviews that are hidden because their algorithm is set up in a way that they feel that they only want Yelpers to be able to review and show accurate assessments of certain companies, restaurants, etc. So Yelper search. Now, Yelpers are people who are very active. They go to restaurants, they like to critique. So this is a good niche market. This is a good group of people, because if you're showing good results and have a great customer experience, these Yelpers are going to post it and spread it like wildfire. So this is a good group to be a part of, but don't be upset if a lot of your reviews aren't showing up because some of your patients aren't frequent Yelpers. So that's one of the problems with Yelp, is that they only post reviews of Yelpers. So first off, you have, now when it comes to using your actual page, okay, so you have your business page and you put some content on it, some pictures, etc., and stuff like that. Now, is it a benefit for you, or is it working for you, for one, just having a free page? So let's get into some of the advertising or the marketing side of this, okay? So your company, whatever it's called, you'll have your business page and it's local, you have your address, you have everything on the page and it's done. Now, people are searching on Yelp and it depends on what they're searching for. Now, our type of treatments, our type of facility is a physiotherapy place. So your facility is going to come up when people are searching for physiotherapy clinics and local areas and stuff like that. And just to have a page, it doesn't cost you anything. Now, one of the other cons of Yelp is that it doesn't have any diagnosis-based searches. So if I have a physiotherapy clinic, it's called Pursuit Physiotherapy. If I wanted to target heel pain, there's no way for people on Yelp searching for heel pain treatment unless heel pain is one of my keywords in my business name. So it doesn't have a diagnosis specific search category, which is a con for this. But for local searches, searching for physiotherapy, it's great. Now, it's up to you to decide on your marketing strategy. I don't technically want people searching for physiotherapy. It's a whole different structure and mindset of down insurance-based stuff. I want people searching for heel pain treatment or how to treat low back pain, so I catch them before they go to the physician. But that's a whole nother topic there. But if you want to target people, if Yelpers are searching for physiotherapy, it's a great thing to be a part of, because you're going to attract a lot of people searching for physiotherapy against other physical therapists. The cost to have a page is $0, so that's a good thing, okay? Now, let's go over some basic stats on my Yelp page over the past month, okay? Now, they said over the past 30 days, and Yelp gives you your monthly stats. It sends you an update every week, okay? And so over the past 30 days, I've had 39 views, okay? So it's coming up in searches and people are searching for it. Now, most of the time they're searching for physiotherapy, But my page has popped up 39 times. And in their category of leads, they say that I have 13 leads, okay? Now, what you call lead and what I call lead are different than what Yelp calls a lead. Yelp calls a lead as any check-ins, a direction if they search on the map and they click for directions of where you're located, a phone call, a visit to a website, and a bookmark are all considered leads in Yelp's eyes. So don't get super shocked that, wow, 13 leads from 39 opportunities, like that's a crazy awesome conversion rate if you can really do that. Now, I don't consider these 13 leads true leads. The only thing that I consider a true lead is these 2 phone calls, and that would go into my system of how I track things. Now, I track all of my leads and all of my opportunities, and I know these 2 people that did call from Yelp, and I got two patients out of it. So I have 2 new patients, and I generated money off of having a Yelp page for the past month. Now don't get too upset with this. I looked at my past year's data, and I track all of my leads so I know whether they come from Yelp or not. Over the past year, I average about 10 phone calls directly from my Yelp page. And normally I have a high conversion rate, so normally I'm getting 9 to 10 patients a year from having a free Yelp page. Okay, but this just happens to be a good month for Yelp because I actually had 2 phone calls and I know exactly what 2 people they were. I got them, I talked to them on the phone, I converted them, and they're actually patients right now receiving care at Pursuit Physical Therapy. So this is a general example of how your Yelp page works. Okay, so one, you have to understand who is a Yelper. You know, they are a good type of people to have because they like to comment and review. So if you get some Yelpers, you know, that's good. One of the bad things about having a page is it's based on categories. So, you know, you're only going to be able to, you know, come up in searches for physical therapy because your clinic's a physical therapy clinic. So it's not diagnosis based. It does cost nothing to have a Yelp page, so that's good. And it does drive some content just from having a free page here. And again, I look back over my year stats and stuff like that, and I really average about 10 calls a year directly from my Yelp page. And some of this other stuff is good. You know, I rarely get check-ins. I think I've had 7 check-ins out of those 10 patients that I've had. 7 of them checked in. I get a lot of map views. People are looking for directions on where I'm located. I got my 10 phone calls, visits to the website. That's just a secondary positive. Maybe they go to the website and look and call from the website, but you can't really track that one. But it does generate some content to my website. And if I really wanted to know specifics, I go to my Google Analytics and look at the leads coming from Yelp to my website. Bookmarks, it doesn't really matter. Those are the only 2 bookmarks I got all year. It just happens to be these 2 patients. So again, just looking at the flow of Yelp, yes, it doesn't cost you anything to have a free Yelp page. You're going to get people who are actively rating it and reviewing it. So it's good to have a Yelp page, and I highly recommend you to have a business Yelp page and to complete that, especially for local searches. Now, should you advertise through Yelp? Okay, and this is where we're going to really get into the bread and butter of, is it worth advertising on Yelp, and the pros and cons of doing this. So it is worth having a free Yelp page, and you can add some pictures to it and kind of go from there, and it does generate some content, but is it worth spending money on Yelp ads? Okay, so for example, let's kind of role play to go through the outline of this. So, and this is going to get into one of my fundamental marketing principles. Okay, Yelp wants, if you talk to a Yelp representative, they sound like a used car salesman, and it's a minus point right there. They just never give up, and they will call you every day for like 2 weeks straight until you commit to them. But anyway, normally they want you to be able to spend roughly $400 a month, and they want you to commit for roughly 12 months, okay? So, and what they'll do is, one, they'll say that, well, you've been viewed 39 times and you have 13 leads. That's a great conversion. It's generating lots of activity for you, but that's a false positive, as we say, and as we look at sensitivity and specificity, that's a false positive there. That's not really 13 leads. That's really 2 leads. Okay, now still, that's not bad for free, but just because you pay $400 a month doesn't mean that that's going to increase. Okay, so let's get into some details here. So I've actually talked these guys down to doing a 3-month trial, and here's why. Okay, never sign up for a 12-month commitment when you're doing marketing that is especially not proven, because if you sign up for a 12-month commitment at $400 a month, but your marketing doesn't work in 3 months, and it doesn't work at 6 months, it's definitely not going to work at 8 months, 10 months, and 12 months. So never pay a 12-month commitment in any marketing strategy, okay? You never want to do that because you're setting yourself up for failure. Instead, you negotiate with them and you tell them, plain and simple, I'll be willing to try this out for 3 months. And if you believe in your product and it's really working for me, I'll gladly commit to an additional 6 or 12 months. But if it doesn't work in 3 months, it's not going to work in 6 months, it's not going to work in 12 months. So that is a marketing principle, that's a marketing principle pearl that I teach a lot of my clients regarding cash-based physical therapy, is that you never commit to that 12-month commitment in any marketing strategy. You negotiate with them, you test it for 3 months, and if it truly works and you get a return on your investment, then you commit for that 12-month thing. But again, if you're talking to that person, if they believe in their product and it really works, they'll be willing to work with you for that 3-month trial to prove to you that it works. And then when it does work, then you can commit to 6, 10, or 12 months. But never commit to a 12-month commitment in any marketing strategy. So I've got them down for, they want to increase this to $400 a month, okay? And they want to do it for 3 months. Now, that's okay. I may or may not try this. Now, just because I spend $400 a month, okay, they say that they're going to increase my views by like a couple hundred, okay? So they say they're going to increase this. Just say, for example, for this example, they're going to increase my views to 100, okay? So it makes sense to think that, okay, well, if that's going to increase, if I'm at 40 leads normally and I get 2, so maybe I'll get 4 leads from this, or maybe even 5 leads from this. Now, it doesn't always work that way, okay? Because it's all about this step to this step, okay? Just because you spend $400 more a month and your page is only converting 2 leads, pretty much 10 true leads a year for my page, doesn't mean that just because you bump this number up, that number is going to bump up. Because another problem that I ran into is I wanted to tell them, okay, so if I'm getting 39 people visiting my page and only 2 people are really calling, what can I do to increase this step to this step? Can I put a video on the page? Can I put a call now on the page? Can you do some sort of incentive? And they weren't willing to allow me to test it because I wanted to prove this step was working before I invested this money. So if I'm getting 40 people a month visiting it, I wanted to put my page on steroids, make it the best page ever, and I wanted like 10 to 15 people calling. Now that may not be realistic, but I wanted to test this and retest it over and over again until I had a better conversion rate here. And when I know that this page is proven to work to get people to call, then I wanted to invest the money, but they won't let me do that. Okay, so this is why, this is another one of the cons against Yelp, is they weren't willing to do that. I can do this on Google all I want. I can test and retest landing pages back and forth. I can test and retest ads on Facebook and spend way less than this. So this is where Yelp is actually lacking and like behind, because they try to sucker us in there saying, oh, well, we're giving you 40 leads, 40 views a month, and you're getting 13 leads from this. Well, it's like a pseudo lead. These aren't all leads, because the only thing that we care about is people calling. If I'm spending $400 a month, this number better go way up. Okay, so, but you can't just spend $400 blindly and think that it's going to work. You have to, this page has to be able to convert people to really get people to start calling. Okay, I'm not paying for people to check the map. I'm not paying Yelp for them to check in or check the map or to visit my website or to bookmark stuff. I want people to call, and that's the only thing that I care about, because I don't care about the other stuff. So it's really essential here that if you do commit to this month, that you make this page work, and it's proven to work, and you have a 3-month trial now with this. You should be able to talk them down to a 3-month trial. But this page has to be able to convert people, not to just check the directions or go to your website, to call and take action. That's the goal with this investment. Okay, and I would love it if I could get 40 people visiting my page and get 10 people calling. That would be awesome. And then out of those 10 people calling, how much can you convert a month into actually signing up to be a patient? So that's another one of the cons with Yelp, is all this system of what they're trying to upsell you on, and you have to really know what you're talking about. And again, never sign up for that 12-month commitment. Negotiate them down to doing a 3-month trial and seeing if it actually works. $400 a month for me, for unproven strategies, that's kind of high. They're not willing to go any lower, but I may test that out in the 3rd quarter this year, just to test it and see if it actually works. Because in the big picture here, if I don't spend any money, so this is another thing that you have to know. How much money are you willing to spend to get 1 new patient? Okay, at Pursuit Physical Therapy, we average $805 every new patient. Okay, you have to know how much money you're bringing in per new patient. How much revenue are you getting per patient? Period. Okay, you have to know this number, because is it worth me paying $400 a month to get 1 new patient a month? Now I am doubling my money, but I'm already getting some patients coming in for free. So if I'm going to pay this much more money, how many calls do I really want to get from investing in this, and will that work? So that's why it's kind of, there's a lot of steps to go on. One, $400 I think is kind of high for this unproven system. But yes, in the big picture, is it worth me spending $400 a month and making this number maybe 4? Or just say 5, but I only get 4 to come in to commit to treatment. Okay? I was getting 2 new patients a month, or 10 a year almost, pretty much already. Now, is it worth me spending $400 a month and to get 3 more patients? Okay, so that's an extra, on average, just say it's, on profiting, say it's an extra $2,000 if I can get 3 more patients a month in there for that. So yes, I think it is. If I make the numbers really small, I think it's worth it in the big picture, as long as this number increases. All you care about is this. You don't care about anything else when it comes to a Yelp campaign. We want true leads to increase. So don't get suckered in by them saying, well, you're getting a lot of leads already. But this is why you have to know this number of how much money per patient is coming in, okay? For example, if your average revenue per patient is $400, is it worth you spending $400 a month to get one new patient? No, but maybe it's worth you spending $100, you know, or $200. So this is why you have to know how much money it's worth to spend, or you're willing to spend to get one new patient, okay? This is where, that's another marketing principle that you have to learn here. So to go over this, to run this system through an ad, yes, Yelpers are good, they're very active, they have great reviews, and they're active on social media and stuff like that. Is it, you know, if you can talk them down to $400 a month, if it fits your budget, and if your average revenue per patient is high enough, then yes, maybe it is worth it. Okay, yes, your views are gonna go up, but you have to capitalize on this step here. You know, your page has to convert, you know, those increase in leads into people calling. And if it doesn't, it's not gonna work. And that's my main thing, is they were not willing to let me test this. So my battery's about to die. But anyway, that's the main step that you have to use and you have to improve on. This step has to convert to get increased phone calls, and then it's up to your phone call process to actually convert them into getting in for an eval, and then your eval process to convert them into getting into new patients who commit to their treatment. So just want to say thanks for tuning in. Please share this on social media. You know, like the YouTube channel, we post marketing content and stuff like this all the time. Like the Facebook page, and you can even join the 101 forum for lots of free information and topics that we go over. So we're trying to be the best in cash-based physiotherapy and helping our physiotherapists set themselves up for success. So let me know if you have any questions, put them in the comment box below. And thanks for tuning in.